To get an idea of the rules for this run, peep the description below. But essentially, it was just my friends and I co-managing a standard Nuzlocke. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and let me tell you the tale of a run where definitely, and I mean definitely, nothing goes wrong. Larry, cue the tape. Larry! We begin our journey by taking turns picking features of our character to make the oh-so-intimidating demigod known as Nobi. After which, some bloke offers us our choice of 3 starter Pokemon that he promises don't evolve into bipedals. Feeling dangerous, we go with the grass-type cat named Russell Wilson, much to the joy of everyone in the party.
You guys... Is it the weed cat?
It's weed cat.
Yay!
Oh, no.
In what becomes a trend, we immediately fight the neighbor girl who has a weird thing for battling, and make our way over to Route 1, where we get forced to catch a Lechonk by the name of
Chancla, as in the sandal. Yeah?
I can get on board with this.
Soon after, we accidentally step on a piece of gum. It turns out that it's not gum though, but rather a scatterbug that my friend Adam insisted we catch.
It counts. Scatterbug in the team. Put him in right now.
Do you want to use that? You can pick the next one if it makes you feel better.
Adam just
It's
said
my
it.
pick. Put it right now. Put
It's
it
your
in.
pick?
Lock
Okay.
it in.
With Desquante now added to the team, we now get to the point of the game where the story introduces a billion characters like so. Meet Blank. Their sole personality trait is blank. Oh, except Arvin though. Arvin's one of the best characters Game Freak has written in years. He's just a genuine good guy. Except right now in the story, where he's a jerk. But he's a jerk with morals though, as he gives us the cover legendary for beating his level 5 Squirrel? Yep, I read that right. He really gave a 10-year-old he just met a legendary Pokemon. You know what? Sure. That tracks. Let's just go with it. Fine. Anyways, we soon run into our first challenge when we stumble across a wild Flamigo that nearly wipes out the team because, at the time, I didn't realize it was part fighting type. And oh, would you look at that? It counters our whole team. Isn't that just great? Oh. Luckily, we managed to catch it before it can wreak too much havoc, and we dubbed the bird Pork Rinds, in honor of it demolishing Chonko the pig. An absolutely fantastic start to this run. After we calm down, we head over to the academy, where we meet another student named Penny. Her sole personality trait is that she's good with tech. You know what she's bad at, though? Fighting bullies, as we save her from one that may or may not just be Carlos from Big Time Rush. But yeah, once that's over, yada, some things happen, Desquante and Pork Rinds sweep the first gym, and I spend the spoils of our victory, and quite frankly everything else in our bank account, on potato salad. Simply because I can. Wait, where's the picnic
An
basket?
absolutely useless item. We now have 178 of them and we're broke.
We're
For
fine.
what?
Doug, we may be broke in money, but we're rich in
You
potato
needed to
salad.
You needed to buy balls. You needed to buy potions. And now
What?
we're broke. Do you understand the problem? We have 178 potato salad. A completely useless item.
Thereafter, we come across the best thing ever created by Nintendo, a Fido. Now you see this guy? This little ball of fluff right here? His peak design. It's a little dog, dare I say, Fido, who is made of dough. It's genius, it's adorable, and quite frankly, I have never loved a fictional creature more than this. Oh, and not only does it have the best species name, mind you, no, I gave it the best nickname ever too. Ladies and gentlemen,
Brad Pitt it is.
welcome Brad Pitt. With the party slowly growing, we needed some food to support the family. So, Arvin and I go hunt down a giant crab to make sandwiches from. However, the ladder's technique is sloppy, so I show him how it's done and take out Arvin's team first. Only then do we take down the Titan, nearly losing Russell Wilson in the process. Once the food has been made, Arvin breaks the news that his Mabostiff has stage 3 sandwich syndrome and needs to eat sandwiches made from giant Pokemon to get better. So, we agree to hunt down the remaining Titans in the region. On our quest to hunt down the big fellas, we catch some new smaller fellas in a Paldean Wooper, a Wiglet, and a Cloth. Admittedly, LMFAO, the Wiglet, is now over the level cap upon catching her, but it's alright, because we don't need her yet, as Jasquante and Porkrind sweep the next gym too. After which, we stumble upon a sickly Mudbray, who my friend Ashwin attempts to trick us into murdering.
Okay, hit it with a magical leap. I've damage calced it, he won't die.
I don't
know. No. You and your damn damage counts. I'm tired of it after Friendlock Season 2. He fails, and I catch it so we can nurse it back to health. We name it Bray Pit, and begin to build an army of Brad Pitt variants. We trek further up the mountain to the location of the second Titan, only to realize there is an amazing view. So, we stop to take pics before acquiring even more sandwich meat for Arvin. Oh no, I'm about to get ran over by a boulder. To celebrate, we try to catch a Mankey, only for Ashwin to succeed in his attempts to sabotage the run.
What won't kill it?
Low kick? It won't kill it with low kick, because he's light.
Don't die, little buddy.
Boy, was I wrong.
To make up for this, we catch a tadpole named Lindana instead. Some things happen, and, well, I'll let my friend Adam explain the situation.
Are we fighting a car?
Don't worry about it.
So yeah, we end up fighting the automotive industry, or as I like to call it, Big Karma. Get it? Get it? Like Big Pharma?
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
No, okay, whatever. My humor is just ahead of its time. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Brad Pitt commits Grand Theft Auto, and soon after, we catch a parrot whose goofy hair earns her the name Marge. The debut of our new bird has to wait though, as up next is the Electric Gym. At which, the gym leader live streams Hello Whoopter making a mockery of her team. Anyways, Adam brings up an important question after our latest victory.
Do we have a cool fish yet?
We don't have a cool fish yet.
So, we go catch his favorite fish, Rufflet. And just like the last time we caught a fish, we sweep a boss shortly thereafter. Except this time, it's by Eugene's Claw. Wanting to clean up after disassembling another car, we head over to Cascarafa Town, where we meet a local who must have had a case at the Arvins because she gives us, a complete stranger, her boss's wallet, entrusting us to give it back to him. Did I mention her boss is Kofu, the town's gym leader? Yeah, well, sorry Kofu, but we've been needing to invest in new shoes for a while, and this is exactly what we needed. Here's your wallet back, bro. You aren't mad, right? Okay, maybe you're a little bit mad. Have no fear, faithful viewers. It's alright, as we tough out these close calls and earn ourselves another gym badge. But we have to quickly leave the town because Kofu threatens to call the cops on us for stealing a bunch of his money. In our haste to escape, we get lost in a nearby forest where, of course, there is another car. Bray Pit makes quick work of it though, and we're out of there. Quick pause. Before going any further, let's backtrack a little bit to update you on the status of the PC. As you might have noticed, we've caught a bunch of new fellows between now and the first automobile battle. Oh, and on top of which, the goat evolved. No, not that one. This one. Wanting to show off our prized possession, we head into the battle with the next gym leader, hoping to set up with Brad Pitt. And then the turning point in the run happens.
Oh my.
Oh no!
Just like that, in a brief moment, my favorite Pokemon and closest ally was gone. Taken from me by a businessman who hides his murderous tendencies behind a sullen mask. This one act, this single instant, breaks me and sends the run in a direction that cannot be undone. Once I'm able to get myself back together, we send out Bill Clinto, who avenges the star of our team. The former gets a little dinged up in the process though, so when Larry, that evil son of a follows up with a Staraptor. We decide to pivot to our electric type, Lindana. Lady Luck seems to be back on our side when the big bird gets paralyzed upon hitting Lindana. However, little did we know, this was a curse in disguise, as Staraptor's next move was Facade, a move whose strength doubles to a whopping total of 140 when the user is under a status condition. Throw in how Larry terrestrializes Staraptor to further boost any of its normal attacks, and Lindana is dead in the water. With half the team weak to flying types, the run appears to be over. Risking it all, we send out Steven Seagal, banking on it outspeeding Staraptor because the latter is paralyzed. So we terrestrialize and go for a cross chop. And what do you know, Steve comes through, putting an end to Larry's reign of terror and saving the... Oh my god, we have to fight Nemona immediately after this. Nemona, please, wait, stop. We're not ready. Please, Nemona, just let us visit the PC. Please, Nemona, no. Yeah, so Nemona has this whole gimmick with her Quackquavel where she spams its signature move, Aqua Step, a hard-hitting 80 base power move that boosts the user's speed one stage upon each use. And with our two counters to its water fighting type combo being dead, things don't look too good. With little options, we decide to PP stall Aqua Step by sending out Steve Seagal, who showed he could eat one, and spam heals. Poetically, every hit Steve takes ends up boosting the power of his own signature move, Rage Fist, ultimately getting it up to its max power of 350 by the time he puts away the second bird to threaten the run in the past 5 minutes. Yes, let me remind you, all of this chaos happened in about 10 minutes. Finally able to catch a breather, I do what any rational person would do and try to defy God.
She knows play rough just like Brad Pitt!
Dude, it's like they say, you can't teach a dead dog new tricks.
You know, Ashwin, you're right. But dead dogs apparently tend to know the same moves, as we soon find out when we go to take on Rhyme, the next gym leader, whose evolved version of Dead Pit one-shots our Zoroark with its own play rough. Anywho, Race Car the Farigiraf is able to handle the rest of the battle though, as its normal typing protects it from ghost moves, and the only dark move that gets thrown its way is a Sucker Punch, which, would you look at that, its Armor Tail ability protects it from since it nullifies priority moves. So this battle doesn't end up being as catastrophic as last time. We try to cheer ourselves up by replacing a dead comrade with a new one, yet again. This time, catching a Frigibax, who we give the oh-so-clever nickname, wait for it, Bax. After which, the team takes a brief pause to agree we have to get our act together. We were starting to lose Pokemon left and right, and if this kept up, the run was doomed. So, we do what we do best, and go into the next Titan battle under-leveled, resulting in LMFAO and Marge dying. This one may or may not have been my fault, since I want us to get in one more boss before the stream ended that night. Whatever. We follow up by having one of our few big brain moments and take advantage of the regional gimmick to make Russell Wilson become solely a grass type, nullifying Great Tusk otherwise super effective fighting type moves, and, more importantly, allowing Bruss to cook for what might be the first and only time this year. Football joke! Okay, this time, I mean it. We're getting our act together. Brad Pitt's death wasn't some sort of run-ending catalyst. This team has what it takes to go the distance. We just need to stop being sloppy. For our rematch with Great Tusk, because the horrifying experience we just escaped was merely phase 1 of this Titan battle, we bring Steven Seagal, and he, as he's known to do, saved the day yet again by soloing it. After eating the sandwich we make from the mighty elephant, we catch its younger brother, Elon Tusk. On top of which, we catch an Orthworm, aptly dubbed Ortworm. Shout out Devon. And a Tingaton named Tinkerbell. The catching doesn't end there though, as we finally make our way back to the bottom of the map to take on the Psychic Gym, where we catch a Low Kicks and an Espathra first. With a team now built to ruin a Psychic type's day, we head over to challenge the gym only for our rival, Nemona, to cut in line and challenge us first. Stuck with using the team we have, things aren't looking good. Because, tell me, which of these Pokemon is going to take on Quackquavel? The dude who almost swept us last time we fought Nemona. Before you say it, Luke, Why didn't you bring Russell Wilson? Not only does he counter the Psychic type gym, but he could outspeed and one-shot Quackquavel too. Well, you see, I was auto-grinding when I got everyone up to the level cap, and I was doing so while watching the movie Bullet Train. Little did I know I would get so distracted that a certain someone would go over the level cap, rendering them useless until after we beat the gym. So yeah, set ourselves up real nicely here. Once we realize how screwed we are, we get under the assumption that we have to sack off someone. Ashwin, always deeply attached to the team, suggests the following.
Okay, put in Sir Gaga, because I feel nothing for him.
But since we swap in when our other Pokemon, Tinkerbell, was at low health, it seems the AI thought it was best to go for an Aqua Jet and use its priority move to guarantee the kill if the former stayed out. Thanks to our pivot though, Sir Gaga ends up only having to eat a rather soft hit. This was key, as it gave us a chance to use our own priority move, Baby Doll Eyes, which lowers the target's attack by 1 stage. And this 1 stage is all we needed, since Sir Gaga barely hangs on to life and several key things now come into play. 1. Quackquavel boosting its speed off the Aqua Step gives Espathra a speed boost too, thanks to its Opportunist ability, allowing it to outspeed the duck when we finally decide to attack. Second of all, Sir Gaga can now survive any non-critical hit Aqua Steps thrown at it, so long as we heal and immediately get off another Baby Doll Eyes, which we promptly do. We repeat the process of healing and lowering Quackquavel's attack until the latter can do nothing as Sir Gaga chips away at its health, ultimately giving us our first deathless win versus a boss in what feels like forever. With Nemona out of the way, we snag a victory balloon called Hindenburger. Although, we were still pretty on edge. So we go to do some yoga to de-stress before the gym, and I kid you not, we can't even do that right, as somehow, during which, Jasquante nearly dies. And Dead Pit nearly bites the dust too. Expecting the worst, we finally take on the Psychic Gym Leader, who, weirdly enough, ends up being the easiest battle in this town, as Albert O just throws up a couple Calm Minds and we mollywop her team. Just like that, luck is on our side again. Nothing can stop this team now. We're back on track, baby. No more debts. Just Calm Mind sweeps in. Why does Beartick know Earthquake? Why is Beartick making the Earthquake? Why do I open my mouth? Yeah, we somehow managed to lose our only fire type to the Ice Gym. Who would have guessed? Not me. No, sir. That's for sure. If it means anything, Ortworm and Tinkerbell finish the job from there. Furthermore, the reign of steel types continues into the next boss battle, where Honda Civic ends up demolishing the fairy type base camp. Following a brief burial service at Kmart, the next item on the agenda was the final Team Star boss, Aerie. To get to her, we traverse a thick bamboo forest, catching Can I Axe You, the Axew, and some chess piece called Queen Gambita along the way. Upon reaching the base, we storm through her underlings and easily make our way to Aerie. Shortly into the battle, she brings out a familiar face, her own Steven Seagal. Realizing how much of a threat it is given how ours has saved the run multiple times, we try to go for the quick knockout with a Hurricane from Jasquante. However, the angry Ghost Monkey turns out to be faster, and we find out the hard way that it knew Ice Punch. Jasquante, the A1 from day one, toughs out the hit like a champ so we wouldn't cry, barely clinging to its life with 1 HP. From there, he puts all his remaining power into a Hurricane, which, sadly, fails to down the enemy. While Jasquante living was a massive win in itself, this turn ultimately sets up the worst case scenario. Aries Annihilate now had a boosted stab Rage Fist, clocking in at a total of 100 power thanks to the move gaining strength with each hit the user has survived. Ah, would you look at that? 4 out of 6 of our Pokemon were weak to ghost moves too! Back against the wall, we were forced to make a difficult decision. It was all but certain someone had to die here for the rest of the team to live. So we talked it over and finally chose Hindenburger to be the martyr. But it's alright though, as we're pretty confident Sir Gaga will be faster than Annihilate, allowing us to get in a super effective psychic move before... And he's dead too. That's just great. That's just great. At this point, we had started coming around to the idea that the run was done. We were set to wipe, and all our hardship was for naught. In one last attempt, we sent out pork rinds and awaited for Annihilate to annihilate another one of our teammates. But then, a miracle happens. Aerie decides to go for an ice punch, and our pink biped lives, giving it just enough time to get in a super effective Brave Bird, putting away the beast once and for all. Little did we know though, the true beast had just awoken, as the final car of the Toyota-thon summer sales event makes its way to the stage. Upon making its grand entrance, Aerie starts spamming Shift Gear, a move that boosts its attack a stage. On top of which, any physical ding on the car increases its defense too, rather than Aerie's insurance rate, because her Rever Room has the ability Stamina. In other words, we were dealing with a Pokemon that hit like a truck, took hits like a truck, and damn it pretty much was literally a truck. Before we knew it, Dead Pit could barely scratch it, while essentially being one-shot herself. Despite our best efforts, things become glaringly clear that Dead Pit will not be able to finish the job. So we put on our thinking caps.
I think we should kill off the whole team.
We don't listen to Ashwin, and we finally devise a way out. Although I really did not want to do it, the team eventually convinces me that we have to sacrifice the last of Bread Pit's remains in order to assure a clean swap to our only remaining special attacker, Desquante. Once again, all too soon, the run came down to a single moment. Desquante and his Hurricane versus the automotive industry. Mind you, I'd like to mention how this move only had 70% accuracy thanks to him not having the ability Compound Eyes, unlike most competitive Vivillon sets. And with one final click of a button, we left the fate of our team in Lady Luck's hands. This is it, Desquante. If you really care about us, hit this Hurricane.
Wait.
Yes! Desquante! Desquante!
Oh my god.
Desquante!
The legend continues.
In a miraculous turn of events, the butterfly, who we ran into by accident, saves the run. This, to me, was the spirit of the Nuzlocke challenge. An unlikely hero who rises to the occasion. A peasant turned into a king. This was the tale, not of Bread Pit, not of potato salad, but of Desquante, the mighty Buggernaut. Long live he in all his majesty. There was still a long road ahead of us though, as we still had to beat the last Titan, the last Team Starfight, the Elite Four, and the final boss of the game. After catching the last of our encounters, we easily cross off the first two items and are well on our way to crossing off a third when we run into a old base. Larry. You guys remember this sack of you know, the one who killed Bread Pit? The first time, that is. Well, it turns out this asshat is also a member of the Elite Four. I could not forgive him for his crimes. No one takes my favorite Pokemon away from me. So we not only set out to beat him, but to absolutely demolish him. The battle kicks off, and this geezer thinks he can get an edge on us by switching especially to flying types. It doesn't matter though, as his lead, Tropius, can't touch ours, as Ortworm sets up a substitute for Bax via the move Shed Tail. Now unable to be directly hit, our Ice Dragon proceeds to go to town, killing off two members of Larry's team with little effort. Feel familiar, Larry? Anyways, next comes out his signature Staraptor, and we pivot to Lightning McQueen to get revenge for our last electric type, Lindana. This time, not having to worry about static boosting Staraptor's facade since our yellow Swellow lacks that ability. From there, Bax and McQueen manhandle the rest of Larry's team, and I proceed to let out my remaining anger on the businessman.
Die by the hand of your own type, Larry, you fool! You will not take another person from our team! Rot! Rot in hell!
But the next guy might.
Yeah, that's a problem for like 2 minutes from now. Luckily, just like the battles preceding this, the rest of the Elite Four ends up being cake. You know what wasn't cake though? The battle with Nemona immediately after the Pokemon League. Because there, we run into the one bird we should have been afraid of all along, Quackquable, as this feathered fiend takes yet another soul from us in Race Car the Farigarath. And on top of which, we lose Husbando during the fight too, thanks to what was probably a false sense of security obtained from beating the E4 without any deaths. I guess it's still relatively alright since we were able to salvage the fight with Eggmouse, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hurt by the reoccurring theme of trade 2 Pokemon's lives for each major win. You know what? Regardless of how many soldiers we lose, at least we weren't as bad of a trainer as Arvin. While I love the guy, you really gotta question his decision to use his beloved Mabostiff in battle after we just spent the whole game nursing it back to health. Clearly, Arvin still wasn't in the right headspace. So, in an attempt to help our buddy out, we assemble a team of misfits and embark on a journey to the center of the earth to find his mom, who apparently left him when he was like 5 to go buy a gallon of milk from the nearest grocery store, which, according to Arvin, is apparently down here. Once at the bottom of the crater, we fight a bunch of Pokemon who drank spoiled milk and eventually find Arvin's mom. Oh wait, she went crazy from drinking it too, and now she's threatening to kill every lactose intolerant person in the world by flooding it with milk from the world's largest cow udder. Remembering how our late friend Brad Pitt was lactose intolerant, we try to convince her to stop this nonsense. Refusing to tolerate our intolerance, she does the rational thing any adult would do and challenges us, a 12-year-old child, to a fight to the death to determine whether the world would be eating their cereal with or without milk. Despite the awful fixed camera angle, the team is able to rally behind a toxic spikes from Hellawooter and quickly knock out the spoiled milk versions of Misdreavus, Amoonguss, Magneton, and Kirby, leaving one last Pokemon in our way. Spoiled Milk Salamence. Just when it seemed like the run was throwing us a bone, the dragon manages to outspeed our only fairy type, Tinkerbell, and one-shot it with an unexpected earthquake. While there were some decent backup options on the team, I knew there was only one man for the job. The one who saved us twice before and carried much of the early game. You know him, you love him, the MVP, Jasquante! In one last hurrah, I tune out my friends and put all our chips in on a terrestrialized Bug Buzz.
Okay, I think.
No,
Luke, stop.
Wait.
I know what I'm doing.
I agree.
Jasquante!
To Ashwin, you dumbass.
Jasquante, show them all wrong!
Nani?
Jasquante!
Yeah.
It wasn't double, it wasn't quad effective now!
How did it just live?
It would have died had we not!
No. If we hadn't.
That's right, folks. Just when all hope was lost once again, Jasquante cheats death via the power of friendship and manages to deal a massive blow to the enemy. While our butterfly friend was too injured to finish the job from there, some switching between the remaining members of the party allows us to stall out with the effects of Hellawooter's toxic spikes, and ultimately secure the dub. In the aftermath, the spoiled milk drives Arvin's mom to insanity, and we are forced to lock her away in the Tomb of Milk. Before she goes, though, she tells Arvin to like and subscribe, much to all of our confusion. Wanting to cheer up Arvin after his dairy-deranged family issues, Nimona, reading the room like she always does, suggests we all go for ice cream. We all vehemently agree except for Arvin, who we peer pressure into joining, and head off on our way to celebrate the successful Nuzlocke.